Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a long-awaited Mech Merlin stream. I see a Cloudy Yak and an Arms 91205 joining in. Thanks, guys, for joining in so early. Well, it's not really early these days, I guess. It's a bit late and a little bit off time, but yeah. It's been kind of like a slow year, or it's a slow couple months, and I've been away on vacation as well, but we still get new keyboards. Every month we get new keyboards, and before the end of the year, I did get a couple more items in the mail. So today we'd like to talk about a few of them. Tonight, just opening up a few items that I got in the mail. See a Rogue Zero as well, long time no see. 2B pencil, very Adele-esque for the other way around. Yeah, so the very first item that I got is actually a mug. And you're like, Merlin, why do you get mugs? Why are you showing off a mug? It's because this is a very special mug. Look at that. It is a Christmas themed mug, and not only is it because it's a Christmas themed, but it is also custom made for me by one of my favorite sponsors of this channel, Canon Keys. Here, let me actually switch to the face cam so you guys can see it better. There we go. Look at that. Have a Keerific holiday Mech Merlins. Very, very custom made to me. So, you know, just to stay in tune with the holidays, I am going to drink a very holiday-esque drink. What I like to drink for the holidays is actually eggnog, and because of my lactose intolerance, I need to get lactose-free eggnog. See that? Yeah, I was wondering if the lactose-free version would taste any different from the regular one, but no. So far, I haven't been able to tell any difference between lactose-free and non-lactose-free eggnog. They are both extremely filling and both extremely sweet. I actually only got one keyboard. Well, I got two keyboards. One keyboard I picked up today, and one keyboard arrived literally 10 minutes after I left my UPS store. So I guess that can be content for another show. But yeah, tonight we'll be unboxing one keyboard today, and this one is a special one. This one's from one of my favorite keyboard vendors, mainly because they're from Taiwan. This is a keyboard that is going on group buy this coming January 12th to be specific. Yeah, this is known as the PlayKeyboards Model OLED, taking great inspiration from the Model M SSK. So yeah, as you guys can see, it is a TKL. If you guys don't know what the Model M SSK is, that's a pretty good view of it. These were very rare to find Model M's. If like the Model M regular, the one with the numpad, those things were buckling spring keyboards. You could find them for, I don't know, I guess these days they're about like 60 to 70 bucks, but back then, maybe like 6-7 years ago, they were 30 bucks. You could find them in a lot of vintage thrift stores. You know, there were so many of them, but if you wanted a TKL, otherwise known as the Model M SSK, you'd probably have to look on eBay to find these, and these one would retail for about, or I guess not retail, but they would sell on the used market for about 200 bucks. And lo and behold, about like 6-7 years later, we have a keyboard vendor, PlayKeyboards, making one that is a modern design of the Model M SSK. Yeah, if you guys like vintage-like keyboards, you may want to pay attention to this group buy occurring on January 12th. Look at that. And in addition, you also have an OLED, hence the name Model M OLED, but you also have an F13 key, and you also have a, let's see, there was a 1.2 millimeter thick PCB, USB-C, hot swappable, and you also have a solenoid. Look, it's a flex cut PCB, as you guys can see there. We've got the solenoid. Yeah, case colors available in industrial gray, vintage beige, or chromium plated bottom case. Estimated shipping time is 3 to 4 months after the end of the group buy, which is going to be February 15th. This is a rather expensive board, coming in at 450 USD or 470 depending on your options. But it does come with a fancy carrying case. It'll be sold on PlayKeyboards globally, or if you're here in the United States, you can buy it from Novel Keys or Ash Keys in Canada, Swag Keys in South Korea, Candy Keys in Europe, ZealPC in Oceania, the Keep store in Vietnam, or the Qwerty Cop. Guess I've never seen that store before if you're from Southeast Asia. Let's unbox this and see what it's like. So like I said, it does come in a fancy carrying case. For a keyboard that retails for about 450 bucks, I think it definitely should come with the case. I still remember back in the day, like 2014, 2015, you'd spend like $300-400 on a board and just get it wrapped up in foam or wrapped up in saran wrap and stuff like that. So I'm really happy to see that a lot of custom keyboard manufacturers are starting to sell them like this. All right, let's see what this looks like. Ooh, okay, lots of packing foam. So I don't need that. Let's take a look at the PCB first. Oh look, it comes with stabilizers. Perfect, great, because I am in short supply of stabilizers. And let's see, what is this? This looks to be hardware for the PCB. This one looks to be some kind of plastic film for the OLED. Go. Look, foam! Holy cow. That is some huge flex cuts. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I usually tend to tape my flex cut because I don't like the sound that it produces, and I find that they become overly flexy. Like, especially with, look at that, that's bigger than your typical flex cut hole. Let's see, what are the sockets? The sockets are your typical kale. Looks like stuff is connected with ribbon cables of sorts. Yeah, this looks to be simply just a PCB that holds all of the switches. It doesn't have any like CPU or MCU, I mean, or any other active electronics on it. I remember the original Model M being much more substantial than this, but this seems, you know, I feel like I could carry this to and from work in my backpack just fine. Beige! Okay, just like the original. That's pretty awesome. Look at that. So yeah, it's definitely not as thick as the original, if I can remember. But it looks pretty good. Oh, interesting. So the OLED is also a switch. You can press that. That's interesting. Look at that. USB-C in the middle right there. The bottom says Model OLED. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The plate is also curved, so that would make sense why the flex cuts are so substantial. All right, let's take this guy apart. Because I've been not like gone for a while, I don't exactly have too many switches available. And I do hope to build this board on Saturday, so I'm trying to decide what I want on this. Do I want linears, just because I'm a big linear lover? Or should I try to stick with the vintage aesthetic and go for tactile or something? What we're gonna be up to and all that. Alright, here we go guys. Look at that. That is the main board, I assume. Looks like it's got, it is an STM32, it is an ARM powered microcontroller. That's good. That's good. I feel like the last board that PlayKeyboards sent me was using an Atmega32U4, so that's good. And it's looking to use one of the C3 daughter boards. Okay, very nice. This is the ribbon cable I was talking about earlier, right there. Cool, everything's already in place. I don't really have to do much assembly. Okay. Manufacturing looks fine. I do see one tiny little scratch over there. Seems to be just a finished scratch. It's not going through to the metal. I see, yeah, if you see another little scratch there. But nothing on the outside. Everything seems to be internal. Looks like there's a reset button. So if you want to, which is kind of difficult because if you want to reset your board, there's no way to press the button unless you take it apart. So I would recommend once you build this board, put a reset key somewhere on your key map. I see what looks to be an over voltage protector and ESD protection as well. And here we go, that's the switch right there. PlayKeyboards did send me like a build guide because he said there are a few gotchas when building this. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to read through it. But just looking at it right now, it doesn't seem all that complicated. I feel like all I have to do is take off this plate, this curved plate, and just bend the PCB over it while I put all of the switches in. And you can see there are a couple of divots right there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that's to keep the PCB in place because you are bending that PCB. So those are definitely required. Normally I would say that, you know, if you want to add flexibility, you don't want to include all of those standoffs and screw your PCB into the plate. But because you kind of need the PCB to fit the curve, I would say it looks like it's mandatory. There you go. Okay, so it looks like the original SSKs were Win keyless with a 7U spacebar. Okay. So we do have support for 7U and for Win keyless. Not sure if I'll go for the 7U layout or for the regular 6.25U though. Anyway, I think that's about it for the show. Yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and if I don't see you, Merry Christmas. Alright guys, thanks for joining in. Goodbye everyone.